Ferrari nightmare rumbles on. Can Austria trigger a revival? Ferrari's nightmare season shows no signs of slowing down. Their disastrous weekend in Canada only added fuel to the fire. Charles Leclerc endured a disappointing qualifying, and Lewis Hamilton's race was derailed by damage, leaving both drivers to limp home in a lonely 5th and 6th place. And for the truth, it could have been worse too. If Lando Norris hadn't pulled out late in the event, Ferrari could have gone even lower down the grid. Reality bites. Ferrari have lost the momentum they built up with a highly competitive car at the end of 2024. Yes, there have been some high points under team boss Fred Vasseur, but the expectations were clear as day. It was the year Ferrari properly fought for the championship. Now, they are losing ground. Now that the pressure is building, the Italian media are swimming like sharks. Leadership criticism of Vasseur is getting shriller. But there's a spark of hope. This weekend's Austrian Grand Prix can bring salvation in the form of crucial upgrades. Ferrari needs a breakthrough, and urgently. In this video, we'll break down exactly what these upgrades are and why they might be Ferrari's last real shot at turning this season around before it completely unravels. Don't go anywhere. Cue intro music. An Austrian awakening. The Canadian Grand Prix was quite frankly a disaster for Ferrari. So far this season, they've struggled to match the relentless pace of McLaren and Max Verstappen, and while that's hardly unique, with even Mercedes falling short, things hit a new low in Montreal. Until this weekend, Ferrari could somewhat hide behind others' misfortunes. But with Mercedes storming to their first win of the year in Canada, Ferrari's struggles were thrown into harsh new light. Leclerc and Hamilton crossed the line a clear 5th and 6th, as Ferrari slipped to 3rd in the constructors' standings, outpaced by a renewed Mercedes, who delivered a massive 1-3 finish. Yes, the SF25 showed flashes of speed, particularly from Leclerc, but again, a string of mistakes canceled out any serious hope of fighting at the front. Leclerc lost the whole of FP2 after spinning in FP1. Then, in the qualifying, he lost a lap that could have been totally rad after setting the quickest first sector. And Hamilton, early on Sunday, ruined his day. On lap 13, he clipped a Groundhog, yes, really, wrecking his car and putting any chances for a fight to rest. At times, Leclerc looked quick enough to challenge the McLarens, but by then the damage was done. Friday and Saturday's mistakes left him far too deep in the pack to launch a proper charge. This isn't a one-off. It's becoming Ferrari's calling card. Whether it's a poor qualifying session, a misjudged strategy call, or driver error like Leclerc's in Montreal, this team just can't stitch together a clean weekend. And in 2025, that's what you must do to even sniff a podium, let alone a win. Now Mercedes is back in the winner's circle. However, Ferrari is the only one of F1's Big Four yet to score a Grand Prix victory this season, as we hit the halfway stage of this 24-race championship. Leclerc's 3 podiums to date are as good as it is going to get. After the second weekend in the limelight, Fred Vasseur didn't sugarcoat. Ferrari, he admitted, erred too much to expect better. With these thin margins in 2025, Vasseur pointed out it's not about pure speed or large jumps, it's about perfect execution. It doesn't matter the car, Vasseur explained. If the team can get the tires in hand and run cleanly, they'll be up front. He isn't wrong. That's been the case in Monaco, at Imola, and will be the case all season long. But it's everybody's challenge, Vasseur said. We just have to get better. But Ferrari must raw performance gain as well. Qualifying, they've scarcely ever battled for the front row, Monaco being the sole exception. But Monaco's so quirky for car performance, it's pretty much an outlier race in its own unique category. That is why Ferrari are crossing their fingers regarding the new upgrades coming to Austria this weekend. It's a last-minute venture at finding the lap time that will put them back in title contention and do so before it's too late. Austrian Grand Prix, we will have an upgrade soon, before the UK, and perhaps another one, a bit later, said the Ferrari team principal before again shifting the focus to the execution in races, whilst at the same time downplaying the impact of the incoming upgrades for the scooter rear As was the case with McLaren's Mermaid Tails Canadian Grand Prix, Front Wingverse refrained from stating the upgrades will be effective right after their integration to the SF25, highlighting once more the importance of the team's operation throughout the race weekend. If you don't do a good usage of the car, because the setup is a bit different, you can lose temps a couple of times on our side at least. And we're not the only one. When we brought upgrades in the past, we needed 1 or 2 races to adapt the car, to adapt the setup to the new version. Honestly, I think that, and I want to put the focus on the team. There is much more to come from the execution than the pure potential of the car, but we will bring something. The upgrade in question is a complete reworking of the floor of the SF25, with a much-delayed new rear suspension due the race after Silverstone. However, rumors suggest Ferrari might accelerate their plans, potentially introducing both upgrades simultaneously. This weekend, where traction plays a crucial role in overall performance, historical precedent suggests such mid-season changes can have a significant impact, as demonstrated by last year's championship, which saw major competitive shifts after the first 7 races. However, with the lead that McLaren have in both championships, especially over Ferrari, any upgrade is likely to do too little too late, and it has to be assumed that after this round of upgrades, Ferrari will abandon the SF25 in favor of next season, instead heading Vasseur hits back into the Canadian Grand Prix. Fred Vares came under pressure from the Italian media, who were insisting that his days as the head of the scooter were numbered. Fred didn't take kindly to the comments. But before I talk about his rebuttal and the battle it has got him into with the Italian press, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch more news and analysis from this F1 season, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe to OUS channel. Thanks a lot. So, in Canada, Fred Vares launched into a passionate and punchy rant in response to reports suggesting he could be replaced as Ferrari F1 team principal Lewis Hamilton and Charlotte were both asked about the speculation leading into the weekend, with the 7-time world champion describing the reports as nonsense. Speaking in Friday's FIA press conference, Vaser had his first opportunity to respond to the rumors, which he labeled as being disrespectful, as he took aim at the journalists responsible for the stories. First, I have to stay calm, because I will have to visit the stewards of a Sergio. It's some Italian media. It's not all Italian media. It's not about myself, because this I can manage. It's more about the people of the team to throw their names like this. I think it's just disrespectful for them and for their families. We had the case last year with the chief of Aero. I don't understand the target, perhaps it's to give to the team, but in this case I don't see the point. Versus response to the Italian media that is turning against him did not go down well. Though a union representing Italian journalists has responded to the Ferrari F1 team principal's scathing criticism of the speculation about his future, the Italian Automotive Journalist Union, or UIGA, issued a statement responding to Vaser's public attack on the country's media. The UIG argues that it is not a journalist's job to support a team, but to report honestly what happens. The statement also spoke about how their members reported with honesty and integrity, and any suggestion otherwise was baseless. They said that their members should have the freedom to report as they wish, without the pressure of the Ferrari team principal calling them liars. Who knows who is correct? Maybe the Italian media did make up the fact that Ferrari are looking for a replacement for Fred. Maybe Fred hit back in the way he did, because there is real pressure on him from the Ferrari board either way. One fact is inescapable: the 2 papers who released the story, Corriere della Sera and Gazzetta dello Sport, are both owned by the same umbrella company that John Ellen is the CEO of, John Ellen being the CEO of Ferrari. As well, the Italian media has always had very close ties to the Ferrari team, and it seems unlikely that these stories would have been released without Ellen's knowledge or blessing. Ellen will have heard about the story before it was published, and had the power to stop it, but chose not to. Whether it's true or not, it says something. The Ferrari board wanted to put some pressure on Fred and let him know that what has happened this season isn't good enough. Let's hope these new upgrades can help turn things around. If that is the case, What do you think, though? Are Ferrari playing politics through the Italian press? And will these new upgrades improve Ferrari's season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, drive safe and bye for now.